What's up, everyone? It's Jessica. Welcome to our happy little corner of the internet. So today I figured we would do an anti-haul and wish list. Hooey, are there some new launches? And hooey, some of them I totally want and some of them, nah dog, not for me. Let's just dive right in. I'm not drinking coffee because I've had plenty today, so I'm just drinking a like root beer Zevia thing. There's no caffeine, but I'm pretending like it has caffeine. So this first thing, I have it up on my screen here. The first thing I'm telling myself, absolutely not, Jess, even though, well, I'll explain. It's the new Revolution Pro Hidden Jewels Ultimate Eye Look Palette. Listen, the packaging of this is so beautiful to me. It is so beautiful. I feel like Revolution and their like XX Revolution brand and all that, they have done so much amazing stuff with their packaging that makes it look so high-end and luxe, even though the prices aren't quite as high, of course, as like a high-end product. So here's my thing. Yes, the packaging is cute. It is priced at $15, which is getting up there for like drugstore. But the colors, I would use one of those colors. One of them. So I'm like, Jessica, but I feel like me a few years ago would have bought it anyway for the packaging and like, maybe I'll use those like the blue and purple like for a interesting look one time, but that's the problem. It would be like one time. So my thing is I'm like dying for them with the same packaging to make like a neutral eyeshadow quad so that I can have it. Okay, but speaking of jewel tones, there's this new palette from Urban Decay and it's their Stoned Vibes eyeshadow palette. This looks beautiful. Again, those jewel tones, and there's definitely a lot of like glitter, and they look super pigmented and like shimmery and wow, but I won't wear any of them. The theme with me in eyeshadows is I know what I wear and I only wear a few shades of anything, and I might wear a few of those shimmers, like the one that's called Tiger's Eye that's like kind of a peachy gold bronze color. Like that I would probably wear, but I just wouldn't wear the rest of them. So I can appreciate it for just like what it is, window shopping. It's eye candy to me, but it is also $54. So I'm gonna pass, but it is really pretty to look at. So Milani, I'm pretty sure has a new eyeliner or lip liner. I don't even, and it is the Understatement lip liner. And so at least on Ulta site, there are 4 different shades. It's $7.99. I'm looking at the shade French Rosé, because it looks like one of those everyday lip liners that I would wear a lot. I'm looking for a drugstore dupe for the MAC lip liner in Dervish. I love that color. And actually, I think this will be too peach. Maybe Nude Entrance would be more like Dervish. I don't know. None of these quite look like dupes, but I've liked some Milani lip liners in the past and I'd be interested to try this. I like that it's retractable and I like that it says it's super creamy. My only fear is that sometimes lip liners are overly creamy and then they don't stay like in place where you need them. You know what I mean? You gotta have like the perfect mix of the two. Here's something interesting. Ecotools just released these brush cleansing sheets. It just took me like 7 tries to not say blush cleansing sheets. Guys, I feel like I'm losing it today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, these are $7.99. Apparently they're just like these little sheets that you can clean your brushes off on really quickly. And it says they're dissolvable. So they're like eco-friendly. It's plantable seed paper, biodegradable, vegan. I think that is so interesting. That's something, again, I'm going to be adding to my little Ulta cart because I have been looking for, okay, do you guys remember back in the day, e.l.f. used to have a brush cleanser spray, like a daily brush cleaner. And so you would literally just like, the way I always used it is I would spray my brush after I was done using it, wipe it off on, back then I was using like a paper towel. Now I just like reuse a cheap 6-pack of washcloths that I bought a long time ago. Anyway, these are details that aren't important. And you just wipe it off on something and then they were clean, they dry, I mean, really quickly. And I used to do that every day for like years. And then the past few years, I have not done that. And then when I try to look for like daily brush cleanser sprays, they're weirdly hard to find. So if you have a favorite, let me know. I don't think e.l.f. makes theirs anymore and I'm super bummed about it. So, but this sounds like it would be a pretty darn cool thing to use in that way. And I feel like they'd be really travel friendly too. Something I've gotten a lot of questions about is the new TooFaced Pumpkin Spice eyeshadow palette. I think it's new. I mean, it says new, but I know that I feel like every fall and winter they release something like this. So I think this one is like a brand new one. It looks adorable, you guys. It's $49. I tend to like TooFaced eyeshadow formulas in these palettes, but sometimes you get a miss where like some of the launches just aren't as good as other ones. Like I loved the Sweet Peach palette. I loved the chocolate bar palettes, like the formula. And I actually do see a decent amount of shades I would use, but I also see a decent amount I wouldn't. Plus these are typically scented really strongly and I like pumpkin things, but I definitely have a limit with how much pumpkin smells I can handle. Like with pumpkin candles, I have to be really careful because some of them make me feel really nauseated and other ones smell really nice. So my fear would be I also wouldn't love the smell of this, so I'd have to like smell it in person, which actually I don't even know if you can do right now with everything. So I'm gonna pass on that for all of those reasons. All right, we're bopping around here. So here's another one I don't think I'm gonna get. It's the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, which I do like, but it's specifically the new Gummy Bear scent. I don't know, man. I like sweet smells. I really do. But something about the idea of it being gummy bear scented just turned me off when I heard it. Now, I haven't smelled it, so I might totally change my tune if I could possibly have smelled it. But I don't like the idea of that, which is such a bummer because I love the shade of purple they use for this, and they also have their lip glowy balms, which I also love, in the same gummy bear scent. So it's one I'm gonna pass on. If I were to get another one, which I think I will eventually, I want to try the vanilla. I feel like I've been saying that for a year. I did use up like the coral colored one. I think it's like a berry of some kind, and I loved it. But I think I want to try the vanilla next. So Charlotte Tilbury has this new luxury eyeshadow palette, and it's the Walk of No Shame. And it reminds me of the Pillow Talk quad that y'all know I love. The only thing is I would use 3 of the shades, but not the 4th. The like darker berry color, I mean, I might use from time to time, but I would not get much use out of. Whereas like the Pillow Talk quad, I use every single shadow in there. And the one thing to keep in mind with these 4-pan shadows is the bottom left corner is typically like it's not a shadow like a traditional shadow. That one is more like an over like top coat where you would just tap it on. It does add a nice glittery shimmer, but it's not what you might think it is. So just keep that in mind. If that would turn you off, I would stay away. But so this is one, I think it's gonna like live in my loves list. I don't know that I'll ever buy it. And do I really need it? I have those shades even in her Darling palette. So I really don't. So there we go. Good job, Jess. You just talked yourself out. Here's one I hadn't heard anyone talk about yet. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Infinity Powder. I want to try this. I definitely want to try this. This is, okay, it's $50 though. I was reading through the reviews, very, very mixed reviews. There's not a ton of reviews yet because it is new. It says, the first of its kind finishing powder features 2 ambient lighting powders and an ambient strobe highlighter, like all mixed into one. It's supposed to really flatter the complexion with the soft focus natural radiance. It says it's got the perfect marbling of pigment and incandescence. So, no, luminescence. What? I'm just making words up. I don't have my contacts in, so just bear with me. I need to get them in. I know I'm crazy. Does anyone else? I can't put my makeup on with my contacts in. I get makeup all over them. And so I just have to wait. Now, luckily, I can see up close. It's distance that I struggle with. But I feel for y'all that you have to wear your contacts to put your makeup on because I can't. I can just get makeup all over them. I'm a mess. I'm just intrigued. So some of the reviews are like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I use it all over my face. It makes my skin look like it's lit from within. But then there are the other reviews that are like, no, it just looks like regular powder on my face. So I'm intrigued enough. I really do want to try it because I tend to really like the Hourglass powders when it comes to their blushes and all of that. And so I don't know, man. I really, really want it. So what are our thoughts on the Rare Beauty line? It's Selena Gomez's makeup line. I'm intrigued. One of the many, I'm only going to touch on one of them because there's a lot in the line that frankly I am interested in. I could see myself eventually maybe buying some of them and trying them out. We'll see. But the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer looks really nice. First of all, the packaging of all of the products is so pretty and just kind of unique. It says it's lightweight, it's hydrating, it's cake-free. I'm like, yeah, that all sounds great. That's what like all of us want in our concealer, right? But it says it's got more of a radiant finish, which I also love. So that's one. I will probably buy that, and I'll probably buy a few more products in the line because I genuinely want to use them and try them. So if you'd like to see that in a video, holla, because I will do that. I would gladly do that. So Natasha Denona has this new Glam eyeshadow palette, and it's like a cool toned neutral palette. And I have spoken ad nauseum on my channel about how I don't think Natasha Denona palettes are worth it when they're at that $100, $125 price range. But lately her newest palettes have been $65. Is that a ton of money? Yes, 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 yes. It's still a ridiculous amount of money, but at least it's like cut in half from what it was. And I love like looking at the swatches and the colors. I'm like, I would actually use a lot of these. I have not found a single Natasha Denona palette that I have felt strongly about, not because they're not good, because none of them have ever been bad, but because the color stories were never quite my cup of tea. But this, I'm like, oh baby, I would use literally almost every single shade in this. So that is definitely kind of in the back of my mind as I just might do it. I just might do it. And what's funny is I've been on the Natasha Denona PR list for a long time, and I think I finally got them to take me off. And now I'm like, of course, now there's a palette I want. So I am totally willing to spend my own money and buy it because it looks like something I would actually use. Okay, so Essence has this new Mosaic blush. They only have 2 shades, but I've tried a few Essence blushes and I really liked them. And I'm really like drawn to the idea of having a couple shades in there that mix together to kind of create the perfect pink or the perfect peachy coral. And so they're $3.99 and they have like the pinky shade, which is called the Berry Connection. And then they have All You Need Is Pink. I know this lovely store near me called Meyer typically has Essence, and I think they typically stock some of their newer stuff. So I might wait to see it in store, like when I'm grocery shopping, and that might be when I snag it, just because it looks so pretty. And low-key Disney lover in me, it kind of looks like the Epcot ball, okay? Somebody stopped me from buying this. This is the MAC Powder Kiss eyeshadow. It's $20 for one eyeshadow, that makes me pump the brakes right away, because I'm like, unless it is like the most perfect shadow for me, $20 for one shadow is a lot of money. When I can buy a Maybelline shadow for $3.99 and it is amazing. It's the shade Dusty Rose that is the best. But I'm also still curious. So the way this was described is, it's a Pillow Soft matte color. It's got a cream matrix formula. So okay, it sounds a lot like the kind of creamy powder that I've used. It's like the Chantecaille Mermaid Matte eyeshadow I bought for the Hilary Duff video. I really like that formula because you can just blend it right onto the eye, blend it into the crease, and it's just so pretty. Well, this kind of sounds similar, but this is cheaper because that Chantecaille one was not cheap. And the color I'm looking at is called Strike a Pose because it's like a light peach. And I'm like, I really like peach tones on my eyes. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I love weird formulas of shadow and I feel like I would actually use it. Okay, so XX Revolution is now selling some of their products on Ulta's site. And if you recall, my favorite quad that's a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad that I told you I loved earlier in the video, well, it's from the brand XX Revolution. I can't say that fast. And you had to get it from their site. You got to pay for shipping, all that stuff. Well, now some of it is being sold on Ulta. So I bet it's a matter of time before they're selling those quads on there. So if you're thinking about buying it, you might wait a little while and see if it starts being sold on Ulta if you don't want to pay for shipping. One of the things that caught my eye from this brand is their faux retractable brow definer pencil. Now, a brow pencil is a brow pencil is a brow pencil. Like, I love plenty of brow pencils from super cheap at the drugstore, LA Girl, one of my absolute favorites, and then also like expensive ones. This one's $8, and the reason I was drawn to it is because it looks like brush-wise, it could be a dupe for the Fenty, I think it's called like the Brow MVP. The brow formula of the Fenty brow pencil is fine. I mean, it's good, but it's just the same as what I can find with a lot of drugstore brands. But the brush that you can use to fluff, I think is incredible, and this has that same kind of a brush. So I'm thinking about giving it a try just because. I would probably be medium brown. They have medium brown, warm brown, and like deep brown. I'd probably be medium brown. I don't know why. I'm assuming they probably make more shades, but they don't have like blonde or ash or anything. So that's weird. So anyway, so I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. These are those kinds of videos. I like had each of these open in a separate tab, and I usually have like 30 open, and I have to like shave it down because I could talk about new makeup releases for an hour. And some of you guys would love that, and some of you guys would absolutely hate it. So here we are. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love doing these every month, every other month, kind of depending on how many releases are out there. If you did enjoy it, I would love if you subscribed. I do upload 3 videos a week: beauty, lifestyle, vlogging, cooking, all kinds of stuff. And I'd also love to say hey to you on my Instagram. It is at It's Jessica Braun. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.